I muted everything else.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the captioning before this evening's meeting. It looks like everything is going okay. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oof. How though? Because your bitmap's not open, your bit amp's not open, and you didn't check that it's negative 22.
Because I'm going to change that value on you. Testing for captioning when we're pulling from maps. And testing captioning one more time.
Madison Visionary Partners, or MVP, is a nonprofit that serves the Madison community, and our mission is to connect people who care with projects that matter in the city of Madison. We've brought together partners in the community, from the city to Madison Visionary Partners and many other nonprofits that serve this community, along with small business and citizens, to build this river of hope. And we have over 3,000 rocks that have been placed by everyone in our community with messages of hope that are so beautiful and inspiring during this uncertain time. And in addition to those rocks, we have also focused on raising money for our community. And so this River of Hope has raised over $10,000 to help families and the community that has been affected by COVID. Thank you to the entire Madison community for making this beautiful River of Hope something we can all come to visit over the following years. Thank you.
Hi guys, Paul Finley, Mayor of the City of Madison, here with District 5 Council Member Renee Bartlett. And we're here today to ask for your help, but also give you a little bit of information when it comes to communicating with our city. One of the things that we did in 2017 was update the city's website, madisonal.gov. 4 years later, it's time to redo it again. So the first thing we're doing is asking for your help. Go to our website, madisonal.gov. There's a survey. Look at our website. What can we do better? How can we do things that give you more information to be more informed in your city government and what's happening in the city of Madison? I know there's a couple of other things that we've been doing, but I've been really impressed in the first 9 months that you've been in office with a lot of things that are happening from your side and what council's doing to try to communicate with our public. Maybe you could share a couple of things with them.
I'd love to. In District 5, I've created a District 5 Facebook page where I share information that would be interesting to you. In addition, the morning after each city council meeting, I submit a highlight section so that you can know all of the actions that were taken at a city council meeting without having to wait for the minutes. Now, if you see something in those highlights that you're interested in, for the first time in this council, we have retained the video from that meeting until the subsequent meeting when the minutes are approved. So you can go back if you've missed the Monday night stream, which we're still doing via WOW and YouTube. You can catch that video. I've received a lot of compliments from District 5 residents who appreciate the opportunity to go back and catch that meeting. In District 5, I also produce a newsletter every month, and you can subscribe to that via email, or you can see it when I share it on social media. And that gives you major events and happenings in the city, as well as information that will be of interest to you that we're doing here at City Hall. We've also been conducting town hall meetings here. Our entire council has been actively involved in hosting not only live, but town halls via Zoom, so you can participate. We've retained those videos. You can see them on the engineering page on the first town hall that I was able to participate in regarding Highland Drive. And on that page, I continue to give updates on the progress of that project. Most recently, I hosted a meet and greet for our new police chief, Johnny Gandy. And for those of you who had the opportunity to take advantage of that, you were able to hear his vision for the police department and just get to know him better. And finally, I am so honored to serve on what our City Council President, Greg Shaw, calls the Tiger Team. I serve with Councilmember Seifert, our City Attorney, and our new City Clerk, and we're researching ways to improve accessibility to our council. So, we're making recommendations on how to improve public comments and public hearings. We're continuing to research the best practices for how to stream and how to improve our closed captioning services. And we're researching the best practices on retention. So we're not done yet, but we're working on how to improve our connectivity to you.
Yeah, there's so many neat things that are happening there. And I want to remind you guys of a couple of things that have been in place for a while that we hope you're using. Our website has a button that you can click called Notify Me. You know, one of the things as a parent that I was always needing was current information, and when a status changed, an example would be if it rains and Palmer Park's going to close, it helps me make better decisions if I know it right away. So there's about 25 to 30 different notifications that you can sign up for. If a new bid comes out, if there's a road closing, if there's something major that happens, if Palmer Park closes, we'll send you a text message or an email to let you know that. There's also a button on there where you can let us know. We want to know if there's a situation that's dangerous, if something's happened that you need us to look into immediately, you can also let us know via our website. And I think one of the things that I also am very proud of and I learned so much about, we have 2 hours every 2 weeks set aside in the mayor's office, 30-minute slots where you can come in one-on-one, let me know what you think, but also gain valuable information that help you be a more informed citizen. All you have to do is call the mayor's office. We have that time set aside. But I'm going to end where we end where we started, which is with our website and your ability to give us information via the survey. So please go to madisonal.gov, give it a look, see what you think, but also tell us where we can do a better job communicating with you, sharing information. We work for you, but in many instances, information is power. We want you to have it, but it's going to help us to know what you think. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch and listen to this. We look forward to continuing to work with you, for you, in the best city in the state of Alabama.
This is a very exciting day for the emergency medical response partners in this community-wide project. PulsePoint is a smartphone app that alerts CPR-trained citizens to cardiac arrest close to them so that they can provide help.
Sudden cardiac arrest can happen to anyone, anywhere. It could happen to someone while shopping here at Bridge Street. In fact, let's take a moment and see how this might happen. With a sudden cardiac arrest, every second counts. That's why PulsePoint is so remarkable. This cutting-edge technology can save lives by alerting people who can start CPR before emergency responders arrive. Even those who aren't experts in CPR or AED application can still help. PulsePoint gives specific instructions on CPR techniques and can reinforce earlier training. During those precious minutes while the first responders were en route, our citizen responder has made all the difference to this victim and greatly improved her chance of survival. PulsePoint made that possible.
The best part about our job as a law enforcement officer is to provide quality service to our citizens and that community interaction. Again, helping everyone from young to old in our community with whatever needs that they have on a law enforcement professional capacity. So it's amazing to be a part of such an amazing community who supports what we do.
I've been with the city for 7 years, and I have been fortunate enough to be able to get my feet wet in a little bit of everything. So from you're going to start at patrol and then work your way into whatever you want. You can be school resource, SWAT. You can a member of SWAT team, but you can be on SWAT with any other thing as well. You can go to investigations. You can be a canine handler, traffic safety unit, and then you can work your way up chain of command to administrative staff, and you can do that pretty quickly here.
My name is Cody White. I'm firefighter paramedic, and I've been here 10 months. The best advice that I would give to someone that's coming in would be to be yourself, be persistent. If this is what you want to do, work for it. It takes a lot to get to this point, but once you do, all your hard work will pay off. Being here is like being in a large family. You know, everybody has to play their part. Even after 10 months, I still learn something new every day. It is everything that I've wanted it to be, and it's actually been a whole lot more. I love it. I love it. I really can't put in words how much this job, you know, how well it makes me feel to be able to help citizens and, you know, get to help my brothers, and it truly is the best job in the world. The experiences that I've gained in this short amount of time have been really life-changing.
Some things that I would tell someone that wants to be a school resource officer: you have to be as positive as you can be on a regular basis. These kids want to see a friendly face. You have to always be available for them. The impact here truly is immeasurable, and in that sense, let's try to keep it as positive as possible rather than negative.
My favorite part about being a school resource officer or a police officer in general is how much you really get to connect with the community. And I grew up in a really rough situation, and I am very blessed and very successful, but I had to do that on my own. So I also try to really tell these kids, you know, it doesn't matter where you came from, it's all about where you're going.
Of course, my main priority, of course, is safety of the school. But when it comes to the kids, you know, I want to build that relationship with them because a lot of kids are scared of police, unfortunately. And so trying to build that relationship with them, letting them know that the police are the good guys. We're here to help. And that's all we want to do, is we want to help them. The only thing that I can do is be the best role model I can for them, make a positive influence to them. You know, we do several different things, like with the 5th grade here. We'll teach Too Good for Drugs. So we educate them on the cause and effects of drugs, tobacco, alcohol, bullying, things of that nature.
Learning to be patient has been another thing I've learned, patience, because they are so young, you know, and they're growing, they're maturing, they're trying to figure out who they are as a person. The approach, you have to approach it different, you know, you have to approach it with a little more love than you would in the high school because, you know, they're growing up to adults. You know, you want to give the child a time to mess up and make mistakes because it's going to happen.
I treat these kids just like my own kids, good or bad. I've been lucky in the city because I've enjoyed the guys in the unit. I've enjoyed the last 2 bosses that I've had. Obviously, that is a big plus. And these school staffs are very pro-police. And that's make my job easier.
Easiest way that it's been for us to bridge the gap here is that we do classes with the teachers at the high school, and that's an opportunity for our students to see that we're not just police, that we are actually human beings here. Advice I would give people in law enforcement is don't come in with the mindset of that every day is going to be the same, because every day is different, and there are many, many ways that you can give back to your community and to ensure that we are protecting the community too, but that it's one of the most rewarding jobs that I've ever had.
Hi there. You know, many times we talk about Madison's history, and so many of us think we have to go back a long, long way to tell people how we got to where we are. In this case, I'm going to go all the way back to about 2008 and tell you how two projects, the Target Center and this other one, Madison Hospital, come together and how it's made a significant impact in the quality of life of the City of Madison residents. So the story actually starts in 2007 when our mayoral team put together a game plan on 5 primary areas we'd work on if given the chance and elected mayor in the City of Madison. You know, it all comes down to roads, schools, creating more sales tax revenue, doing it by hiring an economic development specialist, and lastly, just being more open and accessible. So we won, and we started the process of doing that. One of the first things that came about from that was the 2008, and I'll call it a battle, when both Huntsville Hospital and Crestwood Hospital wanted to put a new hospital in Madison. We always knew the mayor's office would not make that choice. The con board out of the state would. What we could do, though, is once one was chosen, we could help it get accomplished as quickly as possible. And I'm very proud of the fact that we did.
And Madison Hospital opened when they wanted to in 2012.
But one person who didn't win was Crestwood Hospital. In meeting with Pam Hudson many times before and after, Pam understood one of the primary things that we were looking to do in Madison. That's generate more sales tax revenue. And Crestwood Hospital was slated to go up on Highway 72 on 18 acres. It would have been easy for Crestwood Hospital to sell that land quickly. Instead, she gave us time to go and find the perfect person for that property. It took us a couple of years, and working with Amy Pori, we in turn found GBT, a developer, and hooked them up with Target, and they in turn looked at the Crestwood property. In the end, the city invested $6.5 million to buy that property, and Pam Hudson held on to it for us to be able to do that. 2 years later, the Shops of Madison opened. What has it meant to Madison residents? Well, as you can see up on the screen, over the course of the last 7 years, that project has generated almost $1.8 million for our schools. And once we pay back the loan each year, we've generated almost $4 million that we as mayor and council are able to use for our residents. And in 2022, when we pay that off, you can add another $900,000 a year to that total that our residents will benefit from because somebody, Pam Hudson and her team, understood the significance of what that would mean to Madison. Sometimes you lose and you still win in a big way. That's a little bit of history about the City of Madison, but something that we will always, always be appreciative of and that you now know a little bit more about.
My name is Sarah Robleski. I'm an airman assigned to the 437th Maintenance Group at Joint Base Charleston, South Carolina. The purpose of this video, because I can't be at the meeting in person, is to once again give my thanks and appreciation to my former junior ROTC instructors for the amazing things they've done in my life. I definitely would not be where I am today without the aid and guidance I received from them in high school, and I know they're still out there doing the same thing for high schoolers at Bob Jones. It's truly amazing, and I hope you accept this city coin for my mom, City Councilwoman Mara Robleski, and just remember that I'm truly thankful for what you guys have done in my life. Thank you.
Hey guys, Paul Finley, Mayor of the City of Madison, and I'm here in front of City Hall, and I wanted to take just a minute to let you know the multiple ways you can communicate with City Hall and learn things about what's happening with your city government. Our City Council, along with myself, strongly believe that passing that information on to you as quickly and as often as we can gives us both the opportunity to be the most successful we can be. Several ways you can do that, and I'm going to start with my office. We have 2 hours every 2 weeks set aside for our citizens. All you have to do is call 772-5603 and ask Kim for 30 minutes to come talk to me. We want to hear from you. We want to make sure we understand what's important to you. Please use that anytime you think you need to. In addition to that, our website, madisonal.gov, has 24/7 ability for you to do multiple things. You can let us know something that's important to you. We can notify you. It's a button called Notify Me that gives you about 24 to 25 different opportunities for us to push information to you, whether it's on a text message or an email, when a notification or a status changes. We also have the ability for you to download our meeting minutes, the packets that go with that, and then the agendas whenever your heart desires. We want you to know that every second and fourth Monday at 6 o'clock, you can come to City Hall and watch our council meetings, but you can also download that information off our website at any time. And when you come to City Hall or you go to our website, you want to do something. In turn, when you go to our website, there's a button that allows you to press that, take shortcuts to things that you want to accomplish. It's all right there on a newly designed website that we hope you use all the time. Other channels, YouTube and Channel 42 on WOW. Both are streaming content 24/7, but they're also televising our city council meetings at 6 o'clock on the second and fourth Monday of every month. We want you to be understanding and aware of what's happening within Madison City Hall. All of those opportunities are there for you. Bottom line is this: information is power. We want that power to be pushed down to you guys, and if you feel something's important, give that information back to us. We believe in it. I appreciate our council in putting their money where their mouth is, and we hope that you utilize that. Thanks for taking just a minute to listen. As you've seen in some of the video, it's easy to use, and we hope you do it often. Thanks so much. Hey guys, Paul Finley, Mayor here in the City of Madison, taking just a couple of minutes to talk to you about the recently passed FY 2021 City of Madison budget. You know, everything we do in the City of Madison starts with the mission statement that City Council, Mayor, and our department heads put in place. You know, as you can see, that mission statement basically is to provide excellent services, taking the responsible use of your public resources, the money you give to us, and enhancing your quality of life and our communities. So as we talk about our budget, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. First, for the fourth straight year, we're able to offer our employees a step increase. They worked diligently through this pandemic, never shutting the doors in City Hall a day, coming up with innovative ways to continue to work through that. An example would be a virtual driving school. They've been stellar as far as what they've done, and we're proud to make sure they're taken care of. Two other things with our employees: retirement. We went from Tier 2 to Tier 1, which is funded, and making sure that some of our newer employees have the same benefits as some of the older employees, and making sure that we have higher pay for patrol officers. Some of the new guys that come in, we just aren't as competitive as we need to be regionally, and it's critical we keep fully staffed. I'm proud that's in this budget. Now, we're projecting flat revenues this year after a banner sales tax year last year, up 13%. But we don't think we'll have as many sales tax, internet sales tax revenues coming in. And we're losing some of the revenues up to Highway 72. The Publix shopping center going into the county is a perfect example. And you'll see some flatter revenues projected. We'll talk about expenses in a minute and how we're mitigating that. But a couple of other things is outside agencies are funded to the tune of just a little bit under $400,000. Those are agencies that support our city, and we fund them with certain things. A couple major road projects continue: the 5-laning of Sullivan Street, the 5-laning of Hughes Road. They were funded last year. They'll go through this year. You can see them start to materialize, and it's really going to make a difference in our traffic. Three Springs, you know, a facility that was such a negative in the city is turning into such a positive. It's going to turn into a community center. We're currently doing a study right now on how we do a Phase 1. Council in this budget has funded it with about $1.5 million for a Phase 1 renovation. You're going to start to see some really neat things happen at the Three Springs facility there on Browns Ferry. Home Place Park was recently funded in the last couple of days. That's the park in historic downtown Madison between the big Sealy project that's going on, the Avenues of Madison, and also where the football stadium is, but also the new middle school will be. Just a fabulous facility that in turn is going to house about 700 people to be able to watch concerts. I can't wait for that to take place. And then there's about $2 million in a joint project between our schools and our city to fund the infrastructure for the new middle school. You know, one of the things about it, and so many times Madison gums up in the morning and the afternoons because of the school traffic, this is going to be something we would proactively make a difference and get ahead of the game. Very proud to have worked with our school district on that, and it's funded in this budget. So let's talk expenses for a minute. Where we're going to have flat revenues, we're pretty much going to have flat expenses. On about a typical $8 million expense with all of our departments, we only increase at about $350,000. The great news for citizens, that includes about $1.5 million in engineering projects that in turn I want to tell you a little bit about. You know, that's the resurfacing of Westchester Road, the resurfacing of Madison Boulevard between Westchester and Production. Those are areas that are just needing bad resurfacing. That's about $450,000 worth of repaving just right there. 2 roundabouts, one at Balch and Gillespie. Yes, we know the pain that that's causing, and we're going to put a roundabout in place that we're going to do internally that we hope to have open by the start of school next year. And then another one at Lime Quarry, Graphics Way, Graphics Drive over by the Intergraph. You know, that continues to build up as far as traffic as Town Madison expands, and we're going to get ahead of the game ready for that. We also are doing some work on Browns Ferry as far as a culvert that needs to be replaced, just a dangerous little culvert. And then in the western part of our city, the Oakland Springs Greenway is going to finally be done with a parking lot over there that the western portion of our city can use. You know, in the end, I think it comes down to, and what money do you have left? You know, guys, just in case this pandemic continues, we're ready for that. Council will take the fund balance up about $3 million. It'll be a little under $18 million that's projected right now in the bank just in case that this continues. When it doesn't, when baseball gets rolling, when Town Madison continues, when all the projects that I just talked about happen, we continue to manage your budget and stretch it as far as we possibly can to make the biggest difference that we can for you. So I thank you guys so much for paying attention to this. We are here in the mayor's office, 2 hours every 2 weeks set aside for you. Just call the mayor's office, half-hour slots. We want to hear from you, but most importantly, we're going to continue to work for you. Thank you.